Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Evolution Web. Today we're going to attempt to solve Injectics room, which is an assessment on web app pen testing. Specifically, this room focuses on injection attacks, which happens a lot in modern web applications. Now, if you haven't tried any of this room, I would suggest you try this first to get the basic understanding of how injection attacks work. These rooms include advanced SQL injection, no SQL injection, XXE injection, server-side template injection, LDAP injection, and ORM injection. If you haven't watched my videos, I would suggest you watch my previous videos to go over the basic understandings of these attacks. After you have completed these rooms, now you can actually try to assess a skill from this Injectics room. Now without further ado, let's get started. As you can see right here, I have already started the machine, both the attack box and the target machine. One thing I'm going to do is add to the host files. I'm going to make it bigger. So I've added the IP address to the host file. We should be good to go. Okay, the website is up. Now, before we manually explore the website, I'm just going to run a the search command first. Basically, what it does is directory first thing, looking for some hidden directories on the website. And the syntax is going to be the search.e, which is the URL, http injectics.TryHackMe. Okay, while waiting for this command to run, we're going to explore the web application. The very first thing that I do is I always try to inspect the website. I just want to see the source code. I want to see if there's any information that can reconnaissance from the source code. So let's take a look at it. So we have nothing, navigation bar, hero bar. We have little bar. We have the footer, which navigates to nothing. Website developed by John Tip. Aha! So these are the few informations that we've got. We've got one email address, which is dev injectics. mail.email.log file. Okay, so we get one directory to explore. Let's see what it is. Okay, from dev injectics.TryHackMe to superadmin injectics. Okay, so we have two email addresses. So we have two email addresses. Before heading off on holiday, I wanted to update your latest changes to the website. I have implemented several enhancements and enabled a special service called Injectics. The service continuously monitors the database to ensure that it remains in a stable state. To add an extra security of safety, I have configured the service to automatically run insert default credentials into the users table. Oh, we have one user table. If it is ever deleted or becomes corrupted. This ensures that we always have a way to access the system and perform necessary maintenance. I have scheduled service to run every minute. So these are default credentials. Great. Got that. Super admin. Let me know if you have any further updates or changes needed. Okay, so these are the information we have. Let's continue our exploration. Event, nothing. Matter, nothing. Contract, nothing. Login, obviously. Okay, on the login page, again, I'm going to view the source code, the page source. We have scripts right here. So this is a function. It will include function.pp, username, password, login. Just a typical login page. Nothing really interesting. Let's see login as admin. I'm going to do the same thing. navigation, hero banner, footer. Alright, there's nothing special either. Okay, so what we got so far, we got a admin login 007 PHP, which is designed specifically for admin login, and we have a regular login page. Let's try any of these credentials. For regular user, then password is going to be the password. Nope, can't log in. How about we try super admin? And the password is going to be super secure password. Not working either. So I don't think it's going to work on the admin login page either. It never hurts to try. Super admin password, super secure password 101. Doesn't work as expected. Then I can check it. Password. Right, not working either. So what we got? Okay, so what else can we do? Let's go back to the login page. Let's go here. Do we find anything interesting? Yeah, we have the mail log. We have also found the login.php. We have composer.json. Let's try that. That looks interesting. Let's see what packages are installed on this web application. Aha, so we have tweet. So this one is using the tweet template 2.14, 2.14.0. Just one thing. Composer.json tweet. Hello composer.log. I have some GitHub files. I don't think it's relevant, but you never know. So this is the template that is used in PHP applications for server-side template. So there's nothing much. Symfony. Let's go back. Login page, we have already explored. We have this. I don't think we can access the flags folder. Nah, it's forbidden. JavaScript, yeah, also forbidden. What else do we get? Index, mail log. Okay, we have this one. Let's try this credentials. Super admin.TryHackMe. And password is going to be this one. Nope, it's not working. How about we try? I don't think it works either. But again, it's never hurt to try. But again, it never hurts to try. Okay. Alright, I guess that's it for the directory reconnaissance. There's nothing much we can find so far. Let's try this one. Copy. So we have PHP admin 4.9.5. That could be important information too. PHP admin 4.9.5 documentation. And this is the URL. Okay, let's go back to the web application. So we have two login forms right here, one on a regular user login page and the other one is on admin login page. So let's try to explore the regular login page first. Because it's regular login page, I was assume that we're going to be using this one as a regular user. This one is going to be, I know it doesn't work, but let's try some SQL injection techniques. So the first one is this payload. Does it work? Invalid keywords detected. Okay, so it looks like there's a filter. Whether the quotation mark. Nope. How about we try something URL encoded? Doesn't seems to be working. Okay, so it looks like that the front end has some validations and some checks to filter some special characters. Let's see if it does the same on the backend server. Alright, after starting bug suite, we can send a request to bug suite proxy and see how the request looks like. Proxy right here. Everything is turned on. Traffic is intercepted. Submit a bad keyword. So it wouldn't let me send anything. I'll delete this first. Okay. Let's try this. Oh, hey, it works. So it looks like on the front end, there are some security measures implemented to filter out the special characters, which prevent the SQL injection. But looks like on the back end, there's no filter, there's no input validations, which explains why we were able to successfully log in as a regular user. A lot of time we may have to either encode these special characters or do some other payloads that may work. But in this case, for this specific web application, the security information was very low. So we can actually try this raw input right here, which help us bypass the authentication process. Now within, let's take a look at it. Now, if you remember from the mail.log server, it says that to add an extra layer of safety, I configured the service to automatically insert default credentials into the user's table if it is deleted or becomes corrupted. So now that we have logged in as a regular users, let's try to find another injection point where we can actually drop the table or cause any corruptions in the database so that the database automatically resets. And once it resets, we can actually use the default credentials. Let's try that. So I was just, let's see, what do we get here? We have edit. We have several injection points here. We have one right here, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 points of injection. Let's try to see how the response look like. By the way, I'm Going to make it bigger. Settings. Going to make it 15. Okay, font size is bigger. HTTP message editor. I'm going to change the font size also to 15, so it's actually easy for you to see. There we go. So we see this is a post request to this URL stemming from this URL right here, rank equal ones, country equal USA. Because these two are in the URL, in the referral URL, let's just ignore that for now. Let's just focus on the payload. No, I'm sorry, not the payload, the post data. Oh, which is right here, rank, country, go, 22, 22, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, remember the first time when we tried the SQL injection, there was no special characters filtering on the backend, meaning that I suspect it's going to be the same for these potential injection points. I don't know, maybe not, but let's try it. Country ring equals 1, we'll have semicolon, and then drop table users. And let's see. Don't get anything. Oh, hey, it works. SQL database is something important. Table is deleted. Injectics service is running or restore. Oh, great. Okay, it seems like the database for some important data was deleted. Injectics service is running to restore. Please wait for 1-2 minutes. Okay, cool. So now we have successfully dropped the table, meaning that the database is resetting to its default credentials, which is good. Now that once the database has been reset, we can actually log in as a super admin user. Let's check it out. Log out. Let's try login. Login is super admin. And what is the super admin credentials? Right here. Let's try it. Yay, we're in. TryHackMe Injectics. Admin panel 007. Nice, nice. Okay, what is the flag value after looking at the admin panel? We got it. What is the content of the hidden file in the flags folder? Okay, now that we have successfully bypassed the authentication process, let's try to see if there's any way we can display the data. Since we have already exploited these fields, I suspect that they will be vulnerable to server-side template, SSTI, which is the server-side template injection. Remember, during the reconnaissance process, we have found that the application is using the tweet machine, template machines. So let's try to find any other places that display the data to see if we can inject some malicious payload. We have home right here. There's nothing. We have profile. We have emails. We have admin. We have last name. Test. Let's see if it displays anywhere. Home. Oh, this one already display the first name. Profile. Let's try it. Test. First name. Okay, so only the first name field is displayed, so we can try the payload 7. Now, if you remember, when the application using the tweet template and we try this payload, If the application is vulnerable to SSTI, which is the server-side template injection, then it should display 49. Let's see. Please. No. Boom. Okay. So now we have confirmed the vulnerability. What's next? We have confirmed that the machine is vulnerable to SSTI. We also have confirmed the injection point. Now we need to figure out the payload where we can access the system. And the way I do it is looking at this one. Injectics. Now, if you don't know about it, this is a very popular URL where you can actually refer to all the tricks on the G sheets that you want when performing web app pen testing. Not only web app pen testing, it's also about Linux hardening, macOS hardening, generic hacking, some other fields of cybersecurity. So it's actually very useful to check out. Now let's look for server. Injection right here. Let's look for tweet because we knew that right here. We know the application is using PHP and the template machine is using tweet 2.14.0, and this is a payload that we have confirmed to be vulnerable. And these are going to be the payloads that we're going to try. Let's try this. We're not interested in this one because we're not going to connect to any FTP. Not this one. Let's try this. Import is not allowed. Okay, you know what? Let's open in 2 new tabs so it's easier. We don't have to go back and forth. What does it say? Import is not allowed. So looks like this one is not working. Register. Okay, so looks is payloads. Whatever the payloads that start with a register undefined filter callback is not registered. So we can't actually use any of these. Doesn't really matter what inside the parentheses. So we can ignore this for now. Let's try the next one. Get filter. Who am I? Okay, it's not allowed either. This is the filter. Yeah, it's not allowed either. So we know that register undefined is not allowed. Get filter is not allowed. Filter. Let's try that. So we have another error. The filter must be closed in the sandbox mode. What does it mean? Let's try asking ChatGPT. Now we're in the age of AI, so it's a no-brainer to use ChatGPT every time you get stuck. Doesn't really matter. The error message you're seeing is pointing to issue with the filter function, specifically with the context of sandbox environment. So the filter function in many programming languages, especially Python and similar function programming languages, the filter function is used to filter a sequence, like a list, based on a condition. The condition is typically passed as callable, like function or lambda expression, which returns a Boolean value. Closure. Closure refers to function objects that have access to variables in closing scope, even after the outer function has finished executing. Essentially, it's a function that remembers the environment in which it was created, sandbox mode. This usually refers to a restricted execution environment where certain operations are limited for safety, security, and performance reasons. In your case, the sandbox mode is preventing certain operations such as passing non-disclosure, callable, string template with blah blah blah. This is like an internal string template or identifier used in your environment or framework to represent a piece of code. Possibly an inline function or lambda. It looks like it's dynamically generated. What it means, it seems like you try to pass. It seems like you're passing a callable to a filter function, but the environment is expecting the callable to be closure. A function that can remember the context in which it was created. If the callable pass to the filter is a closure, for example, it's a blank function or some other object, the sandbox environment will reject it, leading to this error. Okay, I'm not pretty sure what it is exactly, but I'm thinking that the sandbox environment is actually blocking this filter function for PHP. In summary, we can't really use this filter either. So get filter and filter. All right, moving on next. So we can use filter. We can have our this. Oh, okay. So it looks like the sort function is working. Looks like the sort filter is working. Okay, cool. But what is this array mean? What does it mean? I'm not sure. Again, I'm not very familiar with the template, the supersized template, so I'm gonna do some more research. So what does this mean? Let's see. Let's ask ChatGPT. What does this command do? This command appears to be a written template language, Ginger or Liquid. We know it's Twit, that is used for dynamically generating content in template. So component, we're familiar with this one. We know what it is. The double curly braces indicate template expressions. Okay. The ID and then an empty string. This is a list containing two elements, the string ID and the empty string. Okay. So here we pass the array to the pipeline, which is this one, which is used to apply a filter to the data. In this case, the filter being applied is sort system. Detail breakdown, list creation. The expression first create an array with two elements, ID and empty array. Okay, sort operation. The sort system is likely a sorted filter being applied to the list. This filter might be attempting to sort the elements in the list because of some properties of elements, possibly a property code system. If these elements are objects or data structure. However, this part is ambiguous. If the list is just listing ID, empty string, sorting by system doesn't seem relevant since the string don't have a system property. Okay. Doesn't make sense. This might cause an error of fallback behavior when the elements are sorted alphabetically. If the list contains objects or dictionaries that have a key system, then the filter might attempt to sort the list based on the values of the system key in the object. Potential outcome. If the list is just simple string, assuming the sort filter works alphabetically, or let's call graphically, you will get sorted version like this. Oh, so if we So if we do something like this, id sort, then the result would look something like this. But if we use something with a system, we use a source with a system, then it's going to look like this, something similar like this. So this would execute nothing, possibly returning null, and this would execute a system command, which is id. Okay, that makes sense. All right, so we know that the sort function is working. Now we just want to just try the. Now we go to try. Okay, so we know that the sort function is working. What we need to do is to find what value this one to actually get it work. Let's dig a little bit deeper. Let's see what else. What else do we have? Let's try. What am I? Does it work? I don't think it works. No. It doesn't make sense. Who am I in an ID? No, it doesn't make sense. System. Let's try this one. Exact. Nope. Not working. So for more information, so let's see this one and this one. This is a blog post from PropSwigger. See already. Okay, this is a payload to identify the injection points. Method detect, identify, and exploit. Okay. Detect, we have already detected. Code context. Hello, username. Identify, exploit. What's your but? Set class. We are interested in the tweet, not Smarty. Tweet environment use. No. Okay, doesn't look like we find anything. So side injection choose tweet. Look at it here. A tweet right here. Template injection table. What is this? I don't want to think. We know it uses Java PHP to make injection. Let's try this one. Okay, we found it. This looks like similar to, oh, it has several other functions. Reduce, map, it also has sort. We know this one doesn't work. We don't know, we know that sort works. So let's just focus on sort. What is, so besides system we have passed through. What is pass through? explain this. Command. Okay, we know what it is. String arrays, filter, pass through. What's pass through? Pass through is typically a term used to mean pass through, but without any modification. In this context, the pass through filter likely does nothing to the data. It simply passes the data through as it without applying any transformation. So if I understand correctly, if it does nothing, it's going to be similar to this one, isn't it? Let's try that. What would be the output for swap? Okay. Unusual activity has been triggered. Okay. Let's try that. After doing some research on my own machine in trying to figure out the payload, I was able to find that this payload works. Basically the same thing. And right here, you can see we get the data, we get the ID. Okay, now let's try to run another command, which is anyway. Let's see if it shows anything. And it shows a lot of things. Let's look for text. Nope. Flag. Right here. Flags are WR. Is that a text? Let's see it. Cat flags. Nope. So it's near. So that's a folder. US flags. Oh, we got a text file. It's right here. So we're going to cat the content of the text file, which is no. Oh. There we go. I didn't refresh the page. Oopsie. Okay, we were able to get the second flag. And we have successfully cracked the room. Alright, so that's it for the room tonight. Thank you very much for watching my videos. And if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. I'll be happy to answer. Thank you and have a good day. Bye.